Hello, everybody. It is Eric and Angel from CANCUN, Mexico. This is the Experience Pros radio show broadcast directly to Facebook Live.
We are so excited to bring you the Experience Pros radio show, Mexican style, from the Dreams Puerto Aventura this morning. Of course, we are sitting out by the ocean. No, it's a little, the lighting isn't quite studio style, but we are hoping you are okay with that. You get to see the ocean breeze running through our hair, the ocean behind us, the blue of the water, the gorgeous blue sky. Of course, it's like a painting. It's like a postcard. You ever see the postcards? And the colors are so bright and so vivid, and you think they must be enhanced.
Right.
It gets an artistic rendering of what it would really look like. And then you get here, and the blues are so blue, and the greens are so green, and it is just absolutely stunning.
You know, speaking of enhanced colors, I think we should put on parade for our viewers the colors that came in stunning style today by way of our drinks. I don't know what that one is. It's beautiful. Oh, shoot, I don't remember. This one's the Riviera Maya. The Riviera Maya?
Yeah.
Had some of those yesterday.
Right,
That's good.
The green on top, the yellow. It's like a little sunset.
And then there's that one. It's all tropical. It's all beautiful. And
now they're all in front of Eric. Look what he did there. Right? Not by accident, I'm sure.
All right. Well, one of the things that we love to do is talk about the guest experience. And here at the Dreams Puerto Aventuras, it's such a beautiful experience. It's not just God's beauty behind us, but it is the intention that everyone here puts into their guest experience.
Oh my gosh, they work so hard, and you just see them all day long. They've got a job for everything, right. Whether it's cleaning up the beaches or straightening up the chairs, just really going out of their way to take care of the beer's always on ice, the chairs and the towel, everything, all the little details. Somebody is behind the scenes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, taking care of us.
And it doesn't matter what their job is. They are always, it's my pleasure.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to serve you. And, I think we have so much to learn from that, because sometimes it's more like it's my grind.
It's my grind. Don't we usually bring that? We kind of wear our emotions all over our face. Something's bad happened at home, or we were running late in the car, or whatever it is, we bring that to work.
Right.
And that vibe and that energy carries us in our relationships, in our conversations, and it's just a shift, it's just a tweak. And I know that a lot of times we talk about being authentic and real, but just because you're thinking it doesn't mean you get to say it.
Yeah, discretion comes to the door some point.
And just because you're feeling it doesn't mean that other people have to feel it too. You can stop that. You get to decide to put an end to that. And I know that sometimes it doesn't feel, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel authentic enough, because you want to be true to who you are. And if you're having a crappy day, you want to express that. But think about the dominoes that end up being forced down because you decide to take your bad day and really push it on to somebody else. And then that chain reaction that ends up happening, you're like, you know what? They kind of were in a bad mood and they expressed it. I'm going to express it. I'm going to express it by cutting somebody off on traffic, being curt with somebody in the office, not holding the elevator. We're going to send that down. Now think about the opposite of that. If we recognize, look, okay, so it wasn't the best thing that my alarm didn't go off, or, I was running late and the kids couldn't find their shoes. There was an item or something that happened in the morning, but so what? Nothing bad really happened.
Right.
And that's a phrase that I had to learn to adopt just to help me get in my mindset. Nothing bad happened. I'm still healthy, wealthy, wise, it's all still good. And so I don't have to allow for this one little thing to overshadow and take over my day. I get to decide, you know what? I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm in love, I'm happy, I've got my job. And it's like that little girl. Do you remember the meme, the little blonde girl standing up in her bathroom? And I know you've all seen it. She's an internet sensation. She's like, I love my hair, I love my house, I love my life, I love my dolls, I love my mom. and you start singing these little mantras to yourself every day. Doesn't mean that something bad isn't going to happen and you're not going to have challenges, but you're able to snap out of them much quicker.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so John Boyle, who is here with us, we were chatting a little bit before we went live, talking about how valuable relaxation is, especially for entrepreneurs. I remember reading or watching a podcast of a gal that was talking about entrepreneurs and scheduling and prioritizing. And she had one of the most opposite behaviors that techniques that I had ever been taught. And of course, this is designed for entrepreneurs. You know who we are. We work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even when we're not working, we're thinking about work.
Sure.
We're reading professional books. We're kind of always on. And she says, the first thing I want you to do in your calendar is to schedule your downtime. Now, if you're just a hobbyist and you really struggle with staying focused and putting the real work in, and you tend to make excuses, and this isn't a lesson for you.
No, but when you're talking about scheduling your downtime, you're actually talking about putting it in your calendar as time that I block out to do less, or maybe even nothing.
Even nothing. And if you're like me, I don't know, maybe you are, I feel guilty. Like that, taking that downtime and doing nothing, especially when I'm at home. When I'm on vacation, it's a lot easier, but when I'm at home, there's always something to do. There's always somewhere I should be. There's always something I should be doing. And taking the luxury of just having some downtime, not feeling like I have to pour into somebody else, not feeling like I have to finish, but actually kind of shutting down the computer, shutting down the work stuff, and just taking time for me. I have this conversation, this argument in my head of
all the things you should be doing.
But it's okay, Angel. It's okay. We know this is better for productivity. We know this is better for creativity. We know this is better for your health. Yeah, but there's still something I can do. But this is better for it. Yeah, but this is...
That internal struggle, Angel, I think that internal struggle is something that we all have to deal with, and we all deal with differently. But you're having the conversation. I remember when I was young, I had a friend of mine whose brother got into a car accident, and he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Back when we were kids, it wasn't really a thing,
right?
And he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He got injured really seriously. And from that point forward, I was just about 15 years old, and from that point forward, I don't think there's been a time that I haven't got in my car and had that same argument in my head about seatbelts. You're talking about scheduling your time or relaxing, right? I do that in my head, but the fact that I have the argument every day, do I need a seatbelt? I'm only going to the store. 98% of accidents happen within three feet of the bathtub. All that stuff goes on in my head. And what do? I put on the seatbelt because it's good for me. You schedule your downtime because it's good for you.
I schedule our downtime. My husband and I showed up one time. This was probably about a year ago. We showed up to a restaurant probably about 2 hours earlier. We were meeting a couple for dinner, and it was one of these beautiful Colorado days. The sun was shining, and Jay, he didn't know we were 2 hours early. We kind of had our plan of what we were doing all day long, and I kind of gave him the succession of things that were happening, and we just got there faster. And so we show up for dinner, and it's like 3:30, and they're not meeting us until 5:30. And Jay says, yeah, we're meeting another couple for dinner to the maitre d', the host. And I said, no, we're actually 2 hours early, but can we just sit on your patio and have margaritas? And Jay is like, we're 2 hours early. Let's go get something done. We can go run an errand or, go get the tires changed or something. And I said, nope. We're going to pretend we're on vacation, and we're just going to sit here in the sun and drink cocktails and talk to each other. And because it's something we would never schedule for ourselves to do when we're at home. The nice thing when you're on vacation, that's built in.
Yeah.
And, and even here at this Dreams Resort, you can be as busy or as still as you choose to be, whatever your re-energizing piece is. For me, sitting down, in the sun with a book or just listening to music and just relaxing and being still is so recharging for me. And I know, but for a lot of people, like okay, 2 minutes laying down, they're like, okay, I got to be up and doing something.
So, right, go get active. Do something that you like to do. Throw yourself into a sport, or see people doing yoga on the beach, yoga, or something that you like to do. But find something, and then actually put it in the calendar, schedule it. It'll pay dividends in ways that you and your team will thank you for.
I promise you, all work and no play makes us very dull people. You want to have something exciting to talk about and bring to the table come Monday morning or the next day. And so we encourage you to take some time off, put some downtime into your calendar, schedule it if you have to, but enjoy some of the fruits of your labor. You're working really hard. You don't have to wait until we're 65 to enjoy it all. You can put in little pieces into your schedule so that you feel fulfilled. You aren't getting burned out. You feel like you put everything else on the side. And I know for a while, there might be seasons where we kind of have to do the hustle, right? All hands on deck, and we're kind of hustling to get it done. But remember, that's just for a season. It's not a lifestyle. That will burn you out. It'll take your health. It'll take your relationships.
Take your joy.
And take your joy. And you're probably not going to be more productive anyways, right? All sorts of studies about how your productivity decreases after you put in so many hours at the end of the week.
That is so true. Listen, you want to stay tuned throughout this program, because towards the end of the program, we're going to give an opportunity to give away. We're going to have somebody out there win a Hawaiian shirt brought to you by our friends.
Mexican. Caribbean.
Yes, it's
a tropical shirt. That's what it is.
It's a tropical shirt.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I guess we're not in Hawaii. It's the style. You know what I'm talking about when I say Hawaiian shirt. Brought to you by our friends of Nyland's Collision Center. NylandsCollision.com. They are the ones who said, hey, go out and do something in the name of Nyland's and bless people. So we will.
Right. We got to give away a beach cover-up yesterday to Ann Hogan. Actually, she won it yesterday. We'll bring it to her when we come back. And so we'll give you a chance for that. In the meantime, let's introduce some of our guests that we have with us traveling here with us to Mexico with us this year. We have Miss Brooke, and we're gonna scooch over just a smidgen.
There you go. Come join us, dearie.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Brooke, introduce yourself.
I'm Brooke Hanks, residential realtor with the Sell with Brooke team of our Madison and Company properties.
Ta-da, ta-da.
Ta-da!
All right, so Brooke, you work hard. You sell a lot of houses. In fact, you've got one under contract, came under contract while you were here, yes?
Yeah, well, one today and then one the other day, so two. Yeah.
So two.
Wow.
While you're on
That's how to vacation.
Right? You still make the money. Let's talk about the value, though, of taking time off and getting away.
Well, I will say I struggle as you do, and I am not the professional at this by any means, but this trip, I can tell you, when I came with you guys 3 years ago, was so needed for my stage in the game for April.
Yeah.
I've got the summer market to propel through, and to be able to come here and check out and really come back refueled, I think totally just rejuvenates me for my clients, my family, and my business to stay on that roller coaster ride of the spring summer real estate market. It shouldn't be a coaster, by the way. It should be a wave that stays high and then goes down.
Right, and you see,
November.
Brooke, even by your describing the way that you did, you're going into your summer market, and you want to be propelled. It's all about the scheduling, so it reinforces everything that Angel just said about getting the downtime scheduled in, because it is an active part of your business, not time off.
Right. You have to refuel.
Yeah.
And for me, I live a very busy life. I have 2 4-year-olds. I have dogs. I have a husband. And it's very difficult to schedule that time to refuel.
And so it's on the calendar. You know that it's coming. And, I don't know about you. I remember a couple years ago, my husband, we have some friends, another couple, and the husband wanted to surprise his wife. He wanted to plan a trip to Paris. She's always wanted to go to Paris. And so he says, I'm going to plan this trip. I'm going to take care of everything. I'm going to get the babysitter. I'm going to plan it. I'm going to surprise. I'm going to pack her bag for her. And, I'm just going to take her to the airport. And I
know you well enough.
I'm feeling that too. I would be like, oh my God, what is happening?
We're thinking that's a great thing.
I thought
Las chicas, not so much.
Worst thing I've That's so mean and terrible. And he's like, what? It's romantic. I'm like, okay, no. First of all, anticipation for the trip is part of the trip.
Right.
Right? Knowing that it's coming, like you get to look forward to it, through the winter or whatever it is,
Plan accordingly.
Yeah. and to adjust your schedule, right? So to make room for it.
Yep.
And then he was talking about the babysitter. I'm like, okay, I don't think I could leave the country not knowing what the arrangements were
Every detail
for my children
right.
while I was gone, and feel all relaxed about that.
So guys, heads up, if that's what you're planning this this next romantic move,
Not a good idea.
Yeah, not for me. I mean, there might be some women that think that is awesome, but
have yet to find one.
I want to shop for it. I want to plan for it. I don't know. I just want to look forward to the trip that's going. And but I kind of ruined some of those romantic things for Jay. I'm kind of high maintenance when it comes to stuff. Can Mike surprise you with stuff like that?
It's difficult. He surprised me once.
Yeah?
Once in our 16 years.
Wow.
It was a birthday party. I think you guys were there too. My surprise birthday party.
That's right. I remember that. My mom loves doing surprises, and she's always throwing surprise parties for my dad. And God bless him, I don't think that he really gets into that and enjoys that, but she does. And so that's why, that's that give and take in the relationship kind of stuff. Okay, so let's talk about selling houses. You just have a niche. You have a great style, Brooke, and I think your clients just love working with you. When it comes to caring for your clients, you got to go the extra mile. This is a big deal for you.
Absolutely. We go the extra mile every single time when it's necessary, and it's always necessary. There's a lot of real estate teams that are leveraging their time and really pulling themselves away as agents, and for me, it's always been really important for me to be available to them. There are certain administrative things that my operations director can do, but when my client needs to call me, text me, email me, I'm there, and that's a huge deal to me. And I think that's why over the last almost 9 years, I can't believe I'm coming up on a decade.
Wow.
The past 9 years, 90% of my business, 98 to 99% is referral.
I love that.
Yeah.
Is that 9 years in Denver?
Yes. Yeah.
No
Here.
way.
I'm at 8.5 in October.
I remember when you came to
9.
Denver.
Yes.
Gosh, I didn't think it was that long.
I know.
Oh. Oh
We're
my
getting
gosh.
old.
You were such a kid. How sweet.
Yeah.
I was still a kid. We were all still kids. All right, well, give some contact information, Ms. Brooke.
Sure. So my cell number is 720-988-5952. My website is sellwithbrooke.com. My email is brooke@sellwithbrooke.com as well, and everything is still being monitored. My assistant Danielle is checking everything. She's scheduling showings. She's putting houses on the market. It's pretty incredible. So everything is still working and operating.
The market's still strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And statistically, National Association of Realtors says May 1st through May 15th is the hot window
Really?
to list your home. May
Really?
1 through May 15th.
All right, so if you're thinking about it, get off the edge,
You're
give
getting
Brooke
on
a ring.
that window of time.
Right? 'Cause that's like next week.
Sellwithbrooke.com.
That's
right?
next week.
So next week. Okay, phone number then. One more
Yeah,
time,
720-988-5952.
And remember, Brooke is spelled with an E, right?
Yes, Sellwithbrooke.
So Sellwithbrooke.
BROOKE.com.
There it is. All
Awesome.
right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brooke.
Yeah.
All
Very
right,
nice
fabulous.
to have you.
Fabulous, right? And Brooks, take it from a professional. If you've been questioning, is it really? Can I step away? Susan Allard says hi, Brooke, and Ann Hogan says I need the shirt. We're just gonna outfit Ann Hogan. It sounds like she's gonna get all the good stuff. But we often think we can't go away. How's my business gonna run? Who's gonna take care of things?
Right.
And I'll tell you, it's scary, especially when your business revolves solely 100% around you being present. But there are a lot of resources, there are a lot of tools that are available to us now. And then, of course, wherever we take the Experience Diversification group, we make sure there's Wi-Fi. So if you do need to check in, you do need to make some of those phone calls, it's still here and available to you, and you don't have to feel guilty. Nobody's going to shame you going, oh, are you working from the beach? No, we get it. Sometimes you've got to answer those client phone calls, or there's certain things you couldn't reschedule. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing like putting in a couple of hours work. In fact, the yoga gal, says that she comes and does 2 hours worth of yoga in the morning.
Right.
And then she's got the whole rest of the day. And you're doing it by the ocean. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it doesn't stink, that's for sure. So, Angel, you know that I did research for this program.
What did you do? One Google search?
I went to the internet and I found a cool article that I thought I would share. It's asking the question, what's the difference between customer experience and customer service? And most people think those two are synonymous, that the guest experience is the same as the service that we offer. It was a neat little example. I just thought I'd share it with you.
Okay.
If you book a vacation on the phone and the person you're speaking with is friendly and helpful, that's good customer service. It's what you would come to expect, right?
Sure.
If, however, when you your tickets arrive early and your hotel room has been upgraded and you've got a bottle of champagne and rose petals on your bed, that's the customer experience. And it's the extra touch that goes a long way. Brooke was just with us and she was telling us how her assistant is there, ready to serve, take care of everything. That's the extra touch, so that to the guest who is maybe unaware of what you may be doing today while you're getting away, it's a seamless experience for them. So I just thought maybe that would be a valuable contribution.
Right? Customer service versus customer experience.
Yeah.
How can we wow? How can we make people feel really special? Especially these days, when you think about most of what we all sell, most of what we offer to our clients, they can get probably self-service on the internet.
Right.
Or 100 different people within their local area could probably provide that for them. You pull up to any major street corner and there's a gas station on all four corners and a breakfast restaurant on all four corners. The options that we all have as consumers is boundless.
Yep.
And right now with this, when we talk about customer loyalty, and this has been a struggle for a lot of vendors for many years, our parents, my grandparents' generation, they were all very loyal. Right? They were small town vendors. They knew the baker. They knew their bankers by name. There wasn't the variety to choose from, and it was a little bit more homey, right? And far more loyal. And then some of the bigger brands that we're familiar with, Colgate and Kraft and just some of the bigger brands, they were able to capture that loyalty from that generation, because one, it was a cultural thing, and two, they marketed the heck out of it,
right?
With their advertising and their jingles and their mascots, and they tapped into that loyalty. These days, this is getting harder and harder for us to do because there is so much competition. There is so much ease. They've got it from a Google search on their phone, and whoever comes up on top wins. And if we haven't created that connection, that experience versus service, and the experience versus service is different these days.
It is completely different. In fact, there's a disconnect happening in small business. A customer management IQ survey found that 75% of industry leaders and executives said that the customer experience is their highest priority today.
Okay.
All right. Keep that in mind. Is that when Bain and Company asked organizations to rate their quality of service, their experience, not service but experience, 80% of them felt like they had a phenomenal or better customer experience. When Bain and Company asked the same company's guests or customers what was their rating, 8% said they had a decent experience.
So here's the vendor thinking, we got this dialed in.
Right.
Like, this is our sweet spot. We know exactly what we're doing. And yet when you ask the customer,
ultimately, you just do not know what you do not know. And there is an unwillingness, and I see this, regularly, Angel. There's an unwillingness on the part of the person providing the service or the experience to believe anything other than sunshine and roses comes from their company.
Well, but we think about what we do, right? How we train our staff, we're living, eating, and breathing. We're drinking the Kool-Aid, right? And so we think it's kind of, the all hot stuff.
Right.
Because we know what we've poured into it. We know what we've created. But from the end user, there is often this disconnect. I mean, they don't need to know the 20 million things it takes for you when you think about selling a house, the village that it takes to selling a house. Like the person buying that house does not need to know how many hours, I was on hold for 20 minutes. It took me 3 weeks to set this piece up. It took us this. Like, they don't need to know that. So you realize the labor that you're putting into it. But from the end user, that customer, these days, they want it simple.
Yep.
They want it immediately. I want a response. I want a reaction. I want it on my schedule. And in fact, maybe even a little bit better than on my schedule. I ordered a pair of shoes online from Teeks. It's Tieks. Anyways, it's cute little Italian little leather ballet shoes. I was going to Disney World and I wanted something cute and comfortable for walking around the park. So I go online, I place my order. Within an hour, I get an email that says, my order has shipped.
Wow.
Not, thank you so much, we've received your order and it's now going into the queue, which is customer service.
Right.
But your order has shipped. That's a customer experience.
You bet.
Shipping was included in my order, so there's no extra charge for this 2-day shipping. Within 2 days, I had my shoes, and they came in, girls, oh my gosh, the most adorable little turquoise box with this flower ribbon on it, and all sorts of little goodies inside the box, and a handwritten thank you note in the card. Thank you, like describing my order, exactly which pair I ordered, and I hope you enjoy them.
Handwritten.
And I'm inspecting them like, is that really printed? Does that just look like handwriting? Because they can do that now. Like, no, this is a handwritten card.
Service is easy. The experience is what is all about.
All right, so we have a gentleman here from Dreams. You keep talking. I'm gonna bring him on over.
Come.
Here, have a seat here, sir.
Thank you so much. How are you? Good morning.
Very good.
Well.
Good morning.
Oscar.
My
name is Eric. Very nice to have
nice
you.
Nice to meet you, Eric.
Oscar, please share with our listeners who you are and what you do to serve our guests here.
Right. Well, my name is Oscar. I am in charge of the Rooms Division department. My position is the Rooms Division Manager. Basically, I oversee all the departments, like, for example, the front desk, the concierge department, public relations. We have the housekeeping, public areas. We have the spa. I have the laundry. I have the security department.
So basically,
everything. 80% of the hotels,
except for the ocean,
except for the ocean and food and beverage. That's right.
Very nice.
That's right. In my position in my department, basically it's multidisciplinary. So there is a lot of things I have to learn to get to my position. It's probably like a 8 years career. You have to be front desk manager. You have to become chief concierge. You have to have knowledge about chemicals, cleanliness process, and you have to get a lot of experience in customer service.
Yes.
So is it hands-on and you learn the training, or is there like classes that you take for that?
Oh, I wish there were classes for that. It would be easier for me, Well, you have basically the experience will give you what you need. I started become a front desk person, a front desk officer in a cruise ship. I started in my experience about 14 years ago. So I was working in cruise ships for about 4 years. Then once I had experience of handling customers' complaints, having all the issues solved for our guests, I understood what customer experience is and customer service is. Then I became chief concierge in another hotel here in the Riviera Maya. I was in charge of the butler service as well. I was a head butler.
A butler.
So you get to see the fine service and all the attention to detail.
Yes.
Everything has to be on time. Everything has to be precise. You have to be very very secure of what you're doing with your guests.
Well, I will tell you, I notice these little details that you guys have
Thank you.
done to take care of all of your guests. And I know it is not easy. You have people from all over the world,
Right.
different expectations, some of them not sleeping, some of them maybe drinking a little too much.
Right.
And so the way that you handle the customer complaints, I think that when it comes to providing excellent customer service and that customer experience, a big piece of that is being
Right.
able to handle. It's easy if everybody's happy.
True.
Yeah,
Right.
you can make it if everybody's happy. That's
That's
the
true.
easy
Yeah.
part. But can you make it? Can you make them happy when they've been complaining? That's the trick.
You know what? Actually, that's one of the things that I teach when a lot of my staff that is in charge of the front office. It's easy when things go right. If
Correct.
everything goes right, I mean, everybody's happy. Everybody's the best employee. But what happens when things goes wrong?
Right.
When you have to solve an issue, that's when you actually step up and say, okay, I can handle it, and then change the expectation of the guest. If the experience was going wrong, then how to change 360 degrees the whole experience.
Right.
That's the most important. That's the key to success in service.
Well, we love the Dreams resorts. We love this establishment in Puerto Venturas is amazing,
Thank you.
and
Yeah, and training people for that.
Uh-huh.
Because I just don't think that, Oscar, I think people aren't naturally meant for that. It's like you're going to argue with me, I'm going to argue back with you.
Right.
And so to train that behavior, like what's your secret to getting your staff to buy into that?
One of the secrets I will think is to have in their mind that they need to empathize with everybody that is in front of them.
yes,
Empathy will put you in their shoes and will make you feel like what they are feeling in front of you. So that way you can understand the feeling of the person that is probably yelling, is probably shouting, is upset, and you need to understand what is going on. It's not something personal. It's something that the guest is bringing to you because they need assistance, they need help. And otherwise they will be enjoying the beach. But if they have something that they worry about, it's something that you have to solve. You have to help them to get through.
wow, yeah,
That's probably the hardest part. Not everybody has the attitude to get this done. Yeah, sometimes you get probably the time and experience, but you don't have the attitude to solve these issues.
Right.
And as I said, when you have a bad experience is when you see exactly where you're from.
sure. It's not for everyone.
Exactly, that's true.
All right, so Oscar, tell our guests why they should come to Dreams Puerto Aventura.
Well, you should come to Dreams Puerto Venturas to experience Mexico. You should come and experience the taste of Mexico, the flavors, the people, the culture. We have a lot of our staff is people that is actually local. All the people in Dreams Resorts and Secrets Resorts are people actually that are local and they are employed here in our company. So you can see actually the history and the culture from the Riviera Maya. You should come and experience. It's not something that you will find in any other place. Probably you will find a beach, but you won't find the same culture, the people, the charming of the people, the friendliness. That's what we
Yes.
offer. We offer
Very
you a
much.
whole experience.
You do. You
Thank you.
absolutely do. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Oscar,
God.
for
Thank you so
hosting
much.
us.
It was a pleasure to
Gracias.
have you. Hope next time don't wait too much to come back, and we hope to see you back here.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Oscar, thank you.
You
Gracias.
bet.
Okay, so let's give away the tropical shirt.
Tropical shirt.
Courtesy of Nyland's Collision Center to the next person who comments. I want to win the tropical shirt from Nyland's. As soon as you say I want to win the tropical shirt from Nyland's, we'll give you a shout out, and that shirt will be yours. And then tell me what size as well.
There you
All
go.
right, let's bring up John Boyle from Rocky Mountain Wealth Architects. He was on the show with us yesterday. He's teaching us all how to be uber relaxed. John, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just in case somebody wasn't watching yesterday, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Boyle, owner of Rocky Mountain Wealth Architects, accounting, taxation, financial planning, and wealth management.
Excellent.
And
excellent.
professional relaxer.
Very
I-
much so.
So you haven't taken a vacation, though, in 8 years. Somehow it's coming to you very naturally. What's your secret?
Well, I meditate every day, multiple times a day, probably for about 15 minutes or so at a time, and it keeps me relaxed, and it allows me to dial in my thoughts and stay focused.
Excellent. Excellent. Do you like the hat? He went shopping yesterday.
Yeah, it looks good on you, brother.
Yeah, I think every time I come to Mexico, I buy a hat. I'm getting quite the collection of. I got a new visor yesterday for my new one.
It's very nice.
Right. Okay, so John, we're talking a little bit about relaxing and the benefits of relaxing and just taking time off. Do you struggle? I know you meditate, so you probably don't. How long have you done that? Like, when did you start doing something like that?
It was back in 2012 when I started my meditative practices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you introduced to it? Did you seek it out? Like, how did you?
It ended up being part of my spiritual journey. I ingrained myself in a Buddhist temple for a couple of years, and as part of the Sunday practices, reflecting back upon our week and our thoughts, and gaining that control, and clearing out our mental space, it became a part of me.
Sure. Right. I think that, anytime we can take the time to reflect and have that quiet time and that introspection. Is that right? The introspection. Yep. It fills us up in a way that nothing else can. And where everybody else is kind of running around with their hair on fire, you're probably able to just kind of bring that down and go, you know what? I got this.
Of course, the ocean breeze and a mango margarita go a long way towards helping as well. Yeah.
Well, I love it. So, we talk about helping your clients, because I know in the financial world, this is a big piece, I think, of what people want their life to be someday. Someday I'm going to retire, or someday we're going to buy a boat, or someday I'm going to get the beach house. Do your clients come to you? Are you able to help them think about, okay, but what about now? How do you live the life you want to live now? Is that a piece of the conversation?
Yeah, that's a huge piece. So my focus is delivering accounting and taxation services, with the financial planning and wealth management falling in line as a result. So I help people improve their financial acumen with respect to their business, and I consult with them to help them grow their business, which increases their income, which ultimately flows into their ability to save and invest for the future.
Right, it's all part of a bigger plan, but you've got to start today. And I think too often we put those pieces off and think that we can come to that later. John, how do people get in touch with you?
My website is RockyMountainWealth.com. My email address is jb@RockyMountainWealth.com. And my phone number is 720-724-7448.
If people are not working with a professional right now, what kind of advice would you say to them, or encouragement would you give to them?
So get a referral to a good accountant that provides consulting work that is forward-looking.
Forward-looking? What do you mean?
Well, most accountants, in my experience, that they are caught up on compliance. So they're bookkeeping for the sake of preparing tax returns. They're preparing tax returns for the sake of compliance with the IRS.
So they're handling
but they're
the
not
stuff that's already
developing
happened.
a strategy around building your income and your net worth.
Gotcha.
What kind of question then should you ask to know that?
Ooh. What's your approach towards planning?
Okay.
That's it.
Towards planning.
So rather than
Planning,
handling
yes.
just the stuff that, when we think of accountants, in many cases, we think of, I bring in my stuff that I did,
Yeah.
and you make it good so that I can take care of the taxes. But how can you help me grow my business by your approach towards planning ahead?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not simply preparation, it's planning.
Excellent. Well said. Okay, give
Nice.
that contact information again.
Okay. RockyMountainWealth.com, 720-724-7448.
Right, I'm thinking this is like radio, right? Where people are tuning in and out of the radio, and they might not have got it, but I guess probably on Be Live, it's a live video, and you probably watch it from beginning to end. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you catch it in the middle. Well, John, we're loving having you with us. Thank you so much for being a part of our group today and being a part of the mastermind or of the radio show. If you want to get in touch with John and you want to plan for your future, if you think next year I want to go on that trip, I can't tell you how many times and how many people every year, all throughout the year, when you guys go to Mexico, I want to go. And when it comes up, okay, so here's the time and here's where we're here's the deadlines. And like, oh,
I can't do that.
I've got this thing scheduled, or I didn't plan for that. I wasn't prepared for that. It's kind of like Christmas, people. It comes every year in December.
Every year.
So this Mexico trip has come every year at the end of April. And so planning ahead, if you can't plan for a vacation, how much are you planning for your future? So get in touch with John. John, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Love that.
There is somebody who's been watching the program here, Angel, for both days that we've been broadcasting here yesterday and today. And,
oh my gosh, Ann Hogan.
Yep.
This shirt is for you, girl. Extra, extra large. That's not for you. I want to give you the shirt, although I did give you the beach cover.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think she wants to give that to her husband.
I think she does, but I wanted to give it to you. So I'll get you matchy ones. How cute would that be if I can find them?
All right. All right, so your extra, extra large, tropical but not Hawaiian shirt, that's not my size, is on its way, courtesy of Nyland's Collision Center. If you've got a ding, a dent, a dang, or an oh my in your car, and you would like your car to get served by the people who say if it's not perfect,
it's not leaving.
That's Nyland's Collision Center, nylandscollision.com, NYLUNDS, collision.com.
All right, well, we're getting ready to sign off. I've got a yoga class to get to. I zip-lined across the ocean yesterday. My husband is taking the scuba diving Discovery. Oh, she's been corrected. Extra large. We'll take care of you, girl.
Got it.
He's been taking the Discovery class. He's going to go and scuba dive this afternoon, do a 40-foot first-time scuba diving. Angel's discovered that I don't like to be in the water as much as I just like to look at the water. So we all find our happy place, and it's all here for everybody, and I love that. And we all get to do our own thing. Fire show last night was just amazing. Yeah. Dinner is over the top. We're always eating, drinking, or doing something, and I love it.
For those who have come before on this particular trip, it's my understanding that 3 tenors are coming to town tonight. And so we're going to be entertained by literally some of the most professional operatic singers that there are
in Mexico. Yeah. And so it is beautiful. Love bringing you the Experience Purge Radio Show live from Mexico every single year. We're going to broadcast again tomorrow one more time. I'll probably have a beautiful location for that as well. And so we hope you love the beautiful natural scenery and lighting that only the sun and beach can bring to you. I know it's not studio lighting. It's even better.
It is. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. We love you. We'll be back tomorrow.